we're back again.
Ready
Episode
for
5,
a new
finally.
chapter.
Now yes, you're gonna see some stuff that you shouldn't be seeing yet because I haven't.
Did you set it up to capture the thing?
Not properly, so I'm still gonna have to do that.
Wait, do the thing.
But have a look. You can have a look at this new screen.
I don't want to spoil this.
We're gonna be seeing it.
Do you know what these guys
every
look
time.
like? Final Fantasy characters.
Yeah, kind of.
I got that vibe.
Well, this is dodgy. I'm just like, oh, what have I done?
What have you done? Whoa. Whoa. It was fun. They get a little behind the scenes experience. Can't you do like fit to screen?
I can. I probably should.
Yeah. Let it add every and optimize. Would it be transform? There you go. Poking around in Photoshop Beta.
Let's get rid of that. I'll edit this out because this is. Yep. I wish I could Control Alt Delete this. This is. I mean, not Control Alt Delete. What do you call it?
Shift?
Control Z. I'm trying to.
I don't think it will fit without cutting off a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, it should.
Just leave the bars. The bars is fine.
No, I'm keeping the bars. It's the upper and lower ones I'm trying to get rid of.
Is there a center option?
That's what I would like to know.
Why didn't you do this when you made me like
I
turn
forgot.
away?
I forgot. Like, I did this, but it was for the non-maximized version of the game. So I had to once I full screened it, I had to redo it. Anyway, that should do for now. Anyway. All right. So yes, I when I reread the series, I finished episode 7 and then never finished 8. So this is the episode 7 game completion start menu, I guess. So you shouldn't be seeing these guys, but well, I can't really do anything about that right now. And I just want to get into episode 5.
Do you know what I've been doing?
What have you been doing?
I went back and started listening to the first ones again that we first started listening to.
Jacrono?
Yeah.
Yeah. How's that been going? I'm
only up to... Oh wow, we're right in there. Okay, no, Stone me up.
I've got the mouse in here and everything. This is so scuffed. Well, I'll start anyway.
You idiot! Isn't it obvious? It'll be fun to kill her and see your face twist in pain. Why else? Yeah!
Look, don't you turn your eyes away. Look at it. No, wait, that's you. That's you for sure.
That was very weird, for Bella to say. Look, don't turn your eyes away. Look at it. Look. It's magic. It's furniture. No matter how much you try to deny me and magic, look. Yeah! Sorry, Battler. It was pretty fun. Sure, I just did what teacher told me, but look how great it turned out. Where are we? I'm so confused. Apparently, if you start out all hostile and needlessly brutal, then turn incompetent and soft at just the right moment, you can spark a huge bump on your affection meter, right? Alright, good. I needed that pause. Is it a recap? What is it? A recap from episode 3?
Yeah. 2. Yeah, it was 3. It was 3. That lonely tone was the desolate sound of the wind blowing by. The glittering rose petals on these bushes were all golden. The cloud of gold butterflies that had once danced through this golden rose garden like fluttering rose petals was no longer anywhere to be seen. The master of the Golden Land is the Golden Witch Beatrice. She might be called inhumane and cruel, arrogant and outrageous, or perhaps naive and simple. That laugh of hers, which lost its grace more and more the longer it continued, could no longer be heard. The Golden Witch Beatrice sat like a doll, resting in a deck chair, adorned as beautifully as the golden rose garden itself. She wasn't relaxing there. Her eyes were empty. She didn't respond to any questions. Even so, she was not permitted to sleep. Beatrice sat like a doll. Her hair was down, and Vigilia was carefully tending to it with a comb. The usual Beato would surely have spent this time complaining about this and that regarding her hairstyle. However, she made no response, showed no reaction. So it really only looked like Vigilia was combing the golden hair of a large doll. There was a table alongside them. On it sat a chessboard, along with a jumble of black and white pieces locked in a closely fought battle. However, this setup looked more somehow different from normal chess. Maybe the game was similar, though not identical. And on the other side, sitting back in his chair, as he contemplated his next move, was a young man. No, perhaps it wasn't his next move he contemplated. Every once in a while, he would change the positions of the pieces, reconsidering the situation after every change. Maybe he was reconstructing previous games, trying to discover the thought process behind the moves that had been made. In the past, Kinzo, the Yushiromiya family head, once said that learning chessboard arrangements was like taking a journey through the thoughts of the old masters. Yushiromiya Battler was on a journey, a search for the thought process that had led the Golden Witch to create this arrangement and make these moves. Battler took a black piece that should have been moved forward and returned it to its original place, sighing deeply. Battler's pieces were white. However, on this chessboard, the black encampment was on Battler's side. He was reconstructing that arrangement, trying to play Beato's role. The more I do this, the less I understand your moves. Even Battler didn't expect that Beato would respond to that statement. Or rather, he was pretending to talk to himself, thinking there might still be some chance of her responding. Beato's eyes reflected nothing, and her mouth told nothing. After begging him to kill her, the Golden Witch had become a corpse that had given up on life. She wasn't sleeping. She couldn't step down from this game and was therefore forbidden to sleep. So those words must have reached her ears. However, they probably hadn't reached her heart. The Golden Witch would not sneer at Battler's moves, nor would she praise them or belittle them. By now, Beatrice was nothing more than a living doll. Even so, she would glance at him every once in a while. It would be an empty glance, but a glance nonetheless. Sometimes, she would seem to make some sort of gesture, or even move her lips. However, her movements never managed to communicate anything to Battler. How did you decide on this move in this situation? I don't get it at all. I don't understand your moves.
Beato, Battler-kun is talking to you.
Say something. Giggle or guffaw or something. Even use that shrill laugh of yours if you want. Can you believe it? That shrill laugh of Beato's will never be heard again. However, even if she couldn't answer, his voice surely reached her. That was what Battler believed as he said those words. So he said it again. How did you decide on this move in this situation? I don't get it at all. I don't understand your moves.
So you don't understand what this child is thinking?
Vigilia answered in her disciple's stead. Up to this point, she had done her best to avoid speaking for Beato. After all, there was a chance that Beato would respond in some way, and Vigilia didn't want to be the one to steal that chance. So Battler was going to have to bear with this silence. Until Beato herself answered. Vigilia could no longer bear to watch Battler like this. Besides, Battler also wanted to hear what Vigilia had to say. He believed that conversation would reach Beato's heart. You remember what's going on, right?
Well, the Golden Land is no longer the Golden Land. I want to know what happened to Angie. Did she die on the island? Was she killed?
Well, the credits said she died.
That's right, there were credits.
It was...
Did the auntie die?
I would assume so. I can't remember if it said she died or not in the credits.
She was evil. How did they even get to the island when no one went there?
Well, they were like basically a Yakuza. So they had their own
someone
needs.
to take them.
So there was that going on, and we had Battler versus Beatrice kind of clash showdown.
But also, Angie took Maria out of the garden with Uryu man.
Well, yeah, it was... Beatrice wanted to stop playing. She wanted to keep the game suspended.
But, what is it, Lambda Delta?
Lambda didn't want her to.
Yeah.
And Angie sacrificed herself to essentially bring her out of stalemate.
Yeah.
So they could continue the game. I mean, you can't get out of stalemate, but you know what I mean. And then they fought. He what happened? He beat her, so to speak. Remember? And then she
beat her a couple times, yeah.
And then she had the final riddle was the "Who am I?" And that's when it ended.
As in, who is Beatrice?
Yeah, that's what she was like in red. She's like, "I'm gonna kill you, but you're the only one on this island. Who am I?" And
Beatrice
like,
is going to kill Battler.
Yeah, she said, "You're alone on this island, but I'm going to kill you. I am not you. Who am I?" It was something like that.
Oh, that was the riddle, not
Yeah.
her speaking, like, literally.
Well, yeah, that was her red truth riddle.
Hang on.
So I guess this is like,
Tom's on your bed.
we're trying to catch something.
She's trying to catch my bun in the reflection.
So I'm guessing it's like, Beatrice was like, yeah, I don't know. You have a gist of what's going on, so you can continue. You do, right?
Sorry?
You know what's going on, right? You have a rough idea?
We're getting towards the end, sort of.
What?
Of solving these, like, riddles. Is Beatrice it's someone that Battler knows, isn't it? You can't just shrug. No one's gonna see you
It could be
shrug.
person X.
She could be person X, yeah. So we still haven't, discovered
We haven't
person
established
X.
this yet. Well, they had, they confirmed that Kinzo is dead at the start of every game.
Yep.
So instead of 18, she said it's 17 people on the island. Well, she said there's no more than 17, I'm pretty sure were her words in red.
Is it basically trying to say that we already know everybody, there is no Person X? But there still is Person X.
Possibly.
Person X is the person who done it. It's just which person is Person X.
Well, their use of Person X refers to someone who's unknown, as in, like, a new entity. But yes, it could be someone we know, or it could be a mysterious person.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Alright.
Yep, I don't have a clue. The more I try standing in Beato's shoes and moving the pieces like this, the less I understand. A serial murder following an epitaph. With that as a victory condition, I tried reconstructing the games from the Witcher side, but I never ended up making the moves Beato did. In those games, I could find several incomprehensible moves that clearly worked against that victory condition. I don't get it at all. This journey through her thoughts is just too rugged.
Even so, you won't give up, will you?
I won't. I promise.
Kill me. Let me die.
Why is that Jessica's voice? I promise to let her die peacefully, and I'm the only one who can do it. Beato's right ankle was bound with a heavy cold steel shackle.
That's right, she's stuck there.
Yep. It wasn't tied to anything, so it didn't restrict her movement. However, it symbolized restriction. It was a visualization of the bonds that prevented her from leaving the game until she either won or lost. And the shackle was probably hurting her. The mercilessly cold shackle tormented her over and over inside her waking dream.
Well, wasn't she... I don't know, it hasn't fully explained the situation, but the way that they talk about her lifestyle before, when she was like, quote marks, living with Kinzo, it sounds like she was like trapped and imprisoned there.
Yeah.
So is it like sort of a nod to that, or is it like just traumatizing her from being like locked in a prison from Kinzo?
I guess it could be symbolic of that too. I could explain it, it's just I feel like I should explain it later. Or it's my interpretation of it at least.
Yeah.
Like there's so Higurashi Go is running right now. And okay, so like, you know Burn?
Yeah.
I've already told you basically about Burn and
In Higurashi?
yeah.
Sort of ish. I still haven't seen the rest of Higurashi.
Yeah. But you know, like, you know what I mean? Like Rika?
Yeah. Kind of. Don't forget, how many years ago was it that we started watching Higurashi?
It was last year, I'm pretty sure.
No.
1 or 2
It was
years
like
ago.
2 years, more than 2 years.
So, like, Burn is pretty obvious. But Lambda, I originally thought was a certain character.
Yes.
But, like, from what she mentions in in Umineko, I was like, oh, okay, so it's this other character. So, like, for ages I was like, oh, I guess I was wrong, and it's this character. But after Gore, after what's been happening in, like, the latest episode,
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, maybe I was right the first time. What the heck?
Okay.
So, there's a whole layer on that stuff I want to talk about, but at the same time, you kind of need to know a bit more. So maybe
About Higurashi?
both, kind of. So maybe later.
Oh, at least I've got to catch up.
I think this is Beatrice.
Yeah, I would say so. I don't know what the context about would be
Vigilia.
saying it. Gap! Gap! She's trying to shorten the name to Beatrice.
So, there was never any sign of relief in her empty expression. Her eyelids would sometimes tremble like she was having a nightmare, and every once in a while, she would let out a pained gasp. Garp. Unless I win, Beato will never be released from the curse that prevents her from sleeping peacefully.
Are you sure you want to be doing this? It seems the 5th game has already started.
Not interested. Why should I take part in any game unless Beato is my opponent? If that's the only alternative, then it's a much better use of my time to reconstruct previous games while taking a journey in search of Beato's thought process.
Oh, not this one. Oh, what was it? I think it changes every time. I'll be the next game master. Any objections? You've got none, right?
I've got nothing but objections. Beato conceded the fight and is unconscious. Isn't this a loss by default and game over for her?
I'll admit a lot's happened to Beato, and she's basically been KO'd for now. But that doesn't mean she's lost the will to fight. That's why I'm acting as her assistant. Get it?
Beato was lying down on a deck chair, almost as though she was sleeping. However, she wasn't sleeping, and she wasn't awake either. She was nothing more than a living doll that had given up on victory, who had asked Battler to perform her last rites, and who had surrendered everything. Of course, if everyone just sat around, the next game, the 5th game, would never be made ready. So, Lambda Delta had succeeded Beato as the next game master, and announced that she'd prepare the next game. Quit messing around. This is a game between me and Beato. I don't know who you two are, but I'm not going to let you carry on without us.
Wait. So, is this like another parallel?
What?
These characters? Are they in like another parallel? Because before they were in the garden with Beato.
I think this is like showing what happened when the 4th game ended. It's just Battler, like... Because they were showing, like... Vigilia said, "You sure you don't want to join in on the next game?" And he's like, "I'm not interested." And then it does cut back to a flashback or something.
Wait, the next game?
So the 5th game.
The 5th game.
Yeah.
Okay.
You following?
Yes. There's a few distractions, so I was a little bit distracted.
Wait, who's talking?
I feel like...
That's you.
Yep, it's me. No one asked for your opinion. What'll you do, Burn? Accept my challenge or not?
Sure. Go ahead and inherit her role. The hell? Quit messing around. I don't know who you people are, but I'm not going to let you ignore Beato and me and just carry on by yourselves.
Hey, take it easy, okay? Sure, a new player means you'll face new kinds of moves. I'm sure you'll see a lot of stuff that confuses you, but even that might lead to some big hints, get it?
Who cares? Quit saying whatever you want and deciding everything on your own. Beato's game has repeated 4 times, and you still don't understand anything, right? In that case, I expect that swapping out opponents might lead to some huge hints.
That's basically what Lambda said.
That's none of your business. This is our game. Beato prepared it, and she designated me to be her opponent. I don't know what hole you two crept out of, but I don't want you screwing things up.
I understand his perspective, but at the same time, he also comes across as like a little toddler being like, "Man, this isn't who I wanted to play with."
18-year-old battler. He's a grown man. In that case, wake Beato up and make her get the next game ready. Can you? Beato won't be getting up for a while. Anyway, we don't even need to have another game. The 4 games she's already laid out are more than enough. And even if we do have some 5th game, there's no reason it shouldn't just be a puzzle Beato lays out and I take on. There's absolutely no reason for you two to butt in. Battler couldn't hide his irritation at the 2 witches called Lambda Delta and Burn Castell, who had shown up well after the game's start, and who were now trying to take charge on their own. It looked like these witches were of an even higher rank than Beato. So high, in fact, that even Beato's teacher, Vigilia, couldn't even come close. Battler had the feeling he'd seen these two several times before. However, this was the first time he'd known their names and spoken to them directly.
You can't get the next game ready without waking Beato. That's why I'll prepare the next game. We aren't so patient that we're willing to wait forever for Beato to regain consciousness. Right, Burn?
I don't like boredom. It really ticks me off. We really don't give a damn whether you're bored or not.
Come on now. Leave everything to this perfect Lambda Delta summer, okay? I'll take over as the Game Master. Don't worry, I won't play with too much absolute perfection. Just like Beato, I'll set up plenty of incomprehensible fakes, clues, and bonus hints. Isn't that a hint already? I'll make this game a huge hint that'll help you understand Beato's world even better, okay?
So you haven't solved any of the puzzles? Despite all the huge hints?
No, she said there's fakes and stuff.
Fakes, like feints, you know? Huge, I don't know.
I'm not
When
too
you
sure
know
where
the
you're going
story,
with
you spot the hints and they're just like, wow, they're really just saying that right now.
that. Wait, they're just really obvious?
Some of them are. Well, you don't, it's like, if you don't know what's going on, obviously you're not going to pick up that it's a hint. Like something, like...
Wait, so did she actually just give a really big hint just then?
Not really. I mean, you could say it's a hint because she's saying, oh, there's heaps of things that I forgot her name, Beatrice, did to
Beatrice.
give hints and make it a little bit easier for Battler. Letting my voiceless emotions explode, I slammed the table hard. The two witches didn't flinch at all. One grinned. The other looked indifferent, as though nothing had happened. The two of them just stared at me silently, as though they were reproaching me.
What's this? Not satisfied? Are you saying you'll step down from my 5th game? Isn't that a loss by default?
Battler won't step down. Of course he'll participate in the 5th game. Don't just decide that yourself! I'm not gonna play along with you two. I don't give a crap.
Then it really is a loss by default, right? The witch side wins this game. Is it really okay to end this with the humans surrendering?
If you step down, the game will end with your loss by default. Get it? If you want to guarantee that your lonely sister always meets with miserable circumstances in an endless number of worlds, that option is indeed open to you.
Yeah, but if Battler's like, drive, go, it's just gone out the window.
She's like, my sister just died. And then he beats her and he's like, nah, I want to win properly. When Bern Castell mentioned Angie, Battler's expression changed instantly. You bastard. Don't you dare talk about Angie so lightly. Because you have an ally in me, Bern Castell, the Witch of Miracles, there exists the possibility of a miracle in which Angie's family comes home to her. Well, if you do throw that chance away and guarantee that Angie's endless futures all end in sorrow, that might be pretty interesting too. I vaguely understood what she was saying. Until I win in Beato's game, I'll remain trapped in this bizarre world. And if I abandon that victory, then most certainly, my parents and I will never return to Angie. For Angie's sake, even though I know that the witches are toying with me, I must keep on fighting. Damn it. What's wrong? You look unsatisfied. Have you already forgotten how angry you were when your sister was turned to minced meat? You know, that spectacle where she was torn to bits, ripped to pieces by countless red-hot pliers. You'd better watch more closely next time, okay? Bern Castell pointed the palm of her right hand upwards. As she did, a pale light gathered there, and some kind of blue, glowing crystal appeared there. A scene was reflected on its sharp surface. But it wasn't the scene that surrounded them now. If you looked deep into that crystal, that fragment, then you would probably learn what was reflected on there.
She went there.
If you stared at it, then you'd surely see the end Anji finally reached, after waiting 12 years and giving up everything for the sake of her beloved brother. The scene of her death throes, as her entire body was torn to bits while she still lived. Damn you! Without thinking, he grabbed at her collar, but as soon as he touched that which made up her form, it disappeared like foam on the waves. Then, as naturally as though she'd been there from the beginning, Berncastel was leaning against a distant wall. If you step down from the game, this will become not just a fragment, but a definite reality. I won't be the one to create that future. You'll do it yourself. So decide, okay? Figure out what you want to do with your beloved little sister's future. Battler's fists shook with anger, but even if he swung them down, he wouldn't be able to hit Berncastel. This witch was like a phantom or a cat who wouldn't even let someone pat her if she didn't wish for it. And she was telling the truth. For Anji's sake, I can't step down from this fight, even if these unpleasant witches hijack the game board.
That's just like you, Bern. You're even heartless when you threaten people. That's how it is, Battler. You aren't allowed to step down from the game board. You and Beato are nothing more than pieces on the board that exist to distract us from our boredom. Even with your incomprehensible anger and irritation. Even your incomprehensible anger and irritation make for a wonderful treat to satisfy us. Well, what you're doing now only makes for a cheap snack, though.
Like those curry-flavored potato wafers that sell for 30 yen a pair. Don't make me laugh on my own. You damn witches.
I laugh with Beato all the time on my own.
Fight for Anji's sake, okay? And for Beato's too, right? In a way that was admonishing, or perhaps babying. Like the headache you get after eating something too sweet. Berncastel tormented Battler and smiled. By now, the host of this tea party, Beato, was absent. The guest witches were already making themselves at home.
Well, you do, Ushiramiya Battler. Will you surrender to fate? Just step down. You've had enough of being toyed with as a witch's piece, right? It sure is tough being one of Bern's pieces. I'm sure she'll use you and throw you away just like she did with Anji. Yeah.
I'm not giving you the option of stepping down. Keep fighting for the sake of your sister's future. I'm your ally. Until you win, I'll support you so you can reach that future. For all eternity, until I get bored. I can't let her provocation and cajolery rile me up. These witches know I get mad easily, and they're trying to take advantage of that. Battler withstood it all, and finally relaxed his clenched fists. If you want to start this 5th game of yours, go ahead and do it. Do whatever you want.
Yes, I will do whatever I want. Hey, where are you going?
Even though Battler acknowledged this 5th game, he turned his back on them, much to Lambda Delta's surprise. If you're going to be Beato's substitute, then I'm sure that Berncastel witch over there can stand in for me if she wants. Not a bad idea. Better than a loss by default.
What the heck? Are you gonna just ignore this episode 5 that I put so much effort into making? Rude, rude!
Battler says he's going to take a break for a while. Until he comes back, I'll be his substitute. How's that sound, Battler? You do that. What's wrong, Lambda? So, you'll refuse to play if it's against me instead of that fool battler?
Of course not. I'm glad I get to play with you, Burn. Come on, let's play. Let's play together in Lambda Delta Summon Super Hyper and Cute Episode 5.
This technically is a world Beato created. You aren't going to ruin the atmosphere of the story, are you?
Don't worry about that. I'm really good at reading between the lines and that sort of stuff. I made sure to use a Beato-ish atmosphere to make a tale that's even more interesting. Battler, make sure you come back as soon as your break's over, okay? It'd be a shame to miss this. I've set up plenty of bonus hints that'll give you a chance to get closer to Beato's secrets. Or at least that's what it'll look like when it's actually filled with misdirection that makes stuff more and more confusing. Wait, hey, Battler! Why aren't you listening when a witch is talking?
Without answering, Battler disappeared into the darkness. After shrugging and cackling, the witches immediately started playing with the game board they had stolen from Beato.
Interesting direction.
Can those witches really understand Beato's game?
Since they're using the same game board, they cannot do anything that this child cannot do. However, they can do things that this child wouldn't do.
What do you mean, things she wouldn't do?
The materials of chess exist so that you can play chess. You cannot use them to play cards. However, when it comes to throwing chess pieces at your opponent and scribbling them on the board, such things are not impossible to do. However, that would be blasphemy against the game of chess, so people choose not to do that.
That definitely wouldn't be chess anymore. Beato's eyes seemed to cloud slightly with sadness. Damn them. This game's between me and Beato. I won't let anyone else defile it. At that time, gold butterflies gathered, and Ronove appeared, holding a tea set with black tea.
Ronove, can you appear here and give me something to eat?
Would you like some more tea? If you wouldn't mind. Certainly. So, how goes this journey of yours in the search of Milady's thoughts? I don't have a clue, but I'm enjoying it. However, are you sure about this? Is this truly alright for you to relax here? Do you mean that game those witches just started all by themselves? Indeed. Just now, when I went to serve them some tea, the murders of the first twilight had already taken place, and it seemed as though the next murder would occur shortly. When Beato and I were playing, the game would be paused whenever someone left their seats. However, those witches wouldn't pause that game just because I wasn't around. Ronove, did you see their game? Just a part of it. How was it? Ronove lifted the pot high with an elegant gesture as he poured the black tea. After finishing that, he finally spoke. He gave us his impressions of it. It did not have love. What do you mean, love? My apologies. That is how a woman might put it. As a man, one might call it dishonorable. I understood what those words meant. When I met Virgilia's eyes, she shook her head slightly and stared at the floor. I believe it resembles Milady's games greatly on the surface. However, its foundation is quite different. Does it go against the rules of Beato's game? No, it does not. Lambda Delta Summer actually does understand the rules of Milady's game very well. However... Battler stood up. There was no need to make Ronove say any more.
Battler-kun.
Sorry, Ronove. I know you went to all the trouble of pouring this for me, but tea isn't what I need. So, will you go after all? Yeah. We don't need any outsiders in our game. These guys weren't even here in the beginning. Because I've been loafing about, crazier and crazier witches have been introduced. And now they've hijacked this game between me and Beatrice. I've got to take it back. Right now, I'm supposed to be the one taking care of Beato's game board. That means I can't just sit around here.
Thank you. I wanted to let this child hear those words.
I'm sure she hears them. The lady is simply unable to answer. Beato lay there silently, like a living doll with dull eyes. The game board she had created herself had been hijacked by incomprehensible people, and was being turned into a mess. If I was designated to be her opponent, then Beato must have created this game for me. I've got to take it back. Wait here. I'll go and take it back. Of course, Beato didn't respond in any way. That's right. If she can't respond, then I have to protect it in her place. I'll be right back. Virgilia, Roneve, I'm counting on you two to look after this golden sleeping beauty. Yes, leave it to us.
See you later, Battler-kun. And please, in the game without this child, try to find some part of her. If you can, then even if this child is absent, it will mean you have fought with her.
You're right. It's all useless. What am I doing? Let's go, and let's take it back. Sorry to keep you waiting, witches. My break is over! When he faced the jet black heavens and yelled this, the whole world shattered as though it were made out of thin glass.
I feel like he's doing the thing Auntie told him not to do.
What?
Like, he has like an emotional connection with Beatrice. She's like, it's the enemy. What are you doing? Stop messing around.
That emotional connection is why he stopped. He didn't want to be part of the 5th game in the first place.
Yeah.
Now he's realizing that in order to, like, get back to Angie and also, like,
But there's still
bring
a lot
back
of, like,
Beatrice, kind of, whatever he's planning.
Like, for Beatrice. But
Yeah.
we're supposed to be like, down with Beatrice.
I mean, like,
it's so confusing.
Regardless of what his, what he needs to have done in the first place is just join the game. Like, all the things he wants, he'll get if he can, like, partake in the game properly.
Even if you watch them play, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just left and he was like, yeah.
That's what I mean. It's like, meh, I'm a big baby.
No, Battler's a brave man.
Yeah.
Then, as though it had been that way since the beginning, it transformed into that smoking room where Battler had fought Beato so many times, in which the 2 witches had now hijacked.
What do you think you're doing? You're only coming back now? It's way too late. Not only has the game reached the 2nd day, it's already at the finale. Get it?
You never showed up, so I just advanced things on my own. Yeah, like you even waited for me in the first place.
Byrne was way more skillful and thrilling than you were, right?
Shut up. I'm the player. You substitute witches can take a step back now. Well, I don't really mind if you join in starting now, but there's probably no need for you anymore.
Seriously? After all, we're already at the climax. After this, Byrne will probably corner me and win.
What the hell? Nothing wrong with that, is there? Why don't we let him watch the final endgame?
Of course. Come on over, Ushiromia Battler. It's almost completely over, but here's the cute and elegant game I made. Episode 5. End of the Golden Witch.
Intro sequence?
I really want McDonald's.
No, you don't. Oh, look.
I'm hungry.
Maybe later.
Oh, wait, sorry, it just clicked. So
Yeah.
this is the game board results. Okay. Maria's dead?
This is, first twilight of Game 5.
Wait. What's the... It looks like they're slashed and not gouged.
Ushiromiya Jessica. Her corpse was found in the cousin's room on the second floor of the guest house. The direct cause of death is unknown, but her neck was sliced open by a sharp blade. The wound was deep enough that anyone could easily confirm her death.
So is the gouging gone because the gouging is done by Beatrice's furniture, being like the... What are they? The 7 sins? Is there 7?
Yeah, 7 Sisters of Purgatory.
Yeah, so they're the stakes. Does that mean they have their own weapons?
Who knows?
I
I don't know why you're asking me. Well, look, Hideyoshi's different. So look, Jessica, George, Maria have...
With absolute certainty.
Yeah,
so that's...
have been sliced.
That's
and Rosa.
Lambda Delta's...
And Genji.
Lambda Delta's thing. She's the thingy of... The witch of certainty.
Hideyoshi's looks different, though. His corpse was found in a guest room on the first floor of the mansion. A demon stake had pierced through his back. The tip of it reached as far as his lungs. Because he was lying face down on the bed, it is unthinkable that this was a suicide. Also,
Hey, I haven't seen this before.
can we get the Siesta Sisters? Because there was, you even mentioned it. There was, the 4th one.
That we didn't see.
Yeah, because she was dead, I guess.
Yeah. But we haven't met her yet, have we?
Well, she's dead.
They all die and then come back to life all the time.
She's like, she's not in the series.
Oh.
She's dead.
Is she in another series?
But she has, like, they included her sprite in...
Oh, really?
It's somewhere. I just forgot to get into it. It's, and it gives her information, I think.
Does she have a backstory then that comes into the story, or that's pretty much all the story we got?
Well, what did you say about the Siesta Sisters in last episode 4? Because you definitely said something, and I was like, oh, okay.
I think I was asking... I can't remember.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think you would.
Would remember?
Yeah.
It was a long time ago. You don't even remember.
I remember.
Well, what did I say then?
I don't know what to... Second day. Wait, I wonder if that was a chapter.
Can we leave it as a chapter and then go to McDonald's?
I'm not having McDonald's after going to the gym.
Yo, you can't, but I was.
Oh no, you're gonna... Oh, good. Alright, we'll leave it there then. You missed every single one of those image flashes, so we'll have to leave it there. Go page 3.
Just because I will actually fall asleep without food. I've got to that
Sure.
stage where I need
Sure.
food.
I'm not gonna
I
edit
need
this out.
food to
Everyone
function.
can listen to you.
I need
Talking
food
about how you
to
need
function.
Alright, we'll see you guys next time.